Hey, what's up, everybody? Ray here from Keeping It Real with Credit, and I'm truly excited to show you guys who we've partnered up with and who we're going to start doing business with. So make sure to stay till the end for some helpful pro tips if you're the type of person that's looking to buy a home but currently have student loans in any way, shape, or form. These pro tips are something that probably your mortgage lender doesn't want you to know or may not know. Now, Catalina, if you don't mind explaining, when it comes to student loans, does anybody with student loans qualify, or what stages of their student loans qualifications, or how do they qualify for the service?
It does not matter your standing. You could be in default, in wage garnishment, in forbearance, non-payment, or in school grace period, etc. It does not matter your current standing. If you want to buy a house and your student loans are standing in a way, we are on standby to help you.
When I first started this credit repair journey, I made it a habit, or it was just something very important to not only educate you guys on credit, but introduce you guys to the right people, communities, and tools that are going to be designed to help you increase your credit. I mean, let's be honest, having bad credit really makes it difficult on people. And for the majority of people, it's really hard to, see the light at the end of the tunnel, especially when we talk about student loans, which is what we're going to talk about here, and mortgages. So we've partnered up with this great company called LoanSense, and I have Catalina here, and their mission is to go ahead and utilize the world of credit when it comes to student loans and mortgages, and see how you can go ahead and benefit from it when it comes to achieving your mortgage, right? So I'm going to introduce you to Catalina. So Catalina, tell us a little bit about LoanSense and what you guys are about.
Yeah, so we are a student loan advisory. And what that means is we help people manage their student loans so they can increase their affordability for a house and whatever your financial goals may be, right? So a lot of times people say, okay, well, I have bad credit, I want to address it to close on a house. But actually the number one reason beyond credit, actually ahead of credit, is too much debt, right? So consumers have too much debt. They could get up their credit, but they also have a lot of debt. It's like, okay, so how do I pay off what first? How do I get ready to buy a house? But what a lot of people don't realize, instead of just saving and saving to pay down that car, what they don't realize, they also have student loan debt. There are federal programs out there that can lower that monthly payment, and therefore you can use your cash towards paying off other higher interest, like credit card and car payments, etc., to lower that debt to income to now qualify. So we have loan advisors who are they understand all the student loan rules as well as all the mortgage rules, so that they can help you build a plan, right? So you all help with credit. We help with how do you manage that debt to income and what are the steps you need to take, because we believe in a world where it's not yes, you qualify for a home, and no, it's yes or yes when. We want every lender and every person to get access to a yes when, and get a full plan on how to understand how to get there, not just denied, and then they have to go scramble on YouTube like this channel, right? And try to figure out what it is they're supposed to be doing. But every single person can achieve their dreams of owning a home. They just need to understand what is the plan to lower that debt to income, to improve that credit, to eventually, maybe not today, but maybe in a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever that may be for you, you can qualify. We just need to help you get there.
Beautiful. And in the meantime, as we continue this conversation, guys, in the link in the description below, there's going to be a calculator. That calculator is going to give them what, Catalina? Just a better perspective as to what realistically they're looking forward to?
Yeah, so I'd love to share that calculator, but basically what we do here at LoanSense through this calculator that do you want me to show it right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, yeah. So basically this calculator, let me just hit screen share real quick. Share your screen. Let me know when you see it.
There we go.
Can you see it? Okay,
right.
So you'll have the link in the YouTube description. This is just a little video of me and Ray, but basically myloansense.com/score-shield. And basically what this tool does, it's basically an affordability tool, right? I'm going to walk you through it real quick. So let's say you earn $50,000, right? And you have a student loan balance. Let me just make sure my mic you all can hear me, right? It's not like.
Yeah, we're good. We're good on our
Okay,
end.
you're good. Okay, so basically, let's say you have a student loan debt burden of, it doesn't matter the amount, let's say 60,000. And you have other debt, like you have a minimum, let's say you have a minimum credit card of 25, you have a car payment of 408. I'm just putting 408 because that's what I just heard someone say. And you don't have other loans, right? But your student loan interest rate is about 6.5% because that's a graduate school rate. And you have a family of 4. You're married with 2 kids, right? So the whole point now of this is to show you, hey, look, your fully amortized payment with $60,000 of federal student loans is $681 at 6.5% interest, right? Well, federal government programs based on your family size, your income, and all these different things can actually lower this payment to $89 because the government has rules. You don't pay based on how much you borrowed, you actually pay based on how much you can afford, right? So by reducing your student loan debt by $592, you're able to go from affording a $130,000 mortgage to a $231,000 mortgage.
Wow.
And instead of having a mortgage payment of $761, now you can afford a mortgage payment of around $1,353, right? But the whole point is we can utilize, what we're doing is we're getting federal government money to help you be able to reduce your payment and now use that money, that $600 now can go towards a mortgage instead of your student loan. But LoanSense Student Loan Advisor will work with you to fill out all the required federal government paperwork so that you can eventually get those loans forgiven as well. So it's not like you lower the interest and then you're gonna have a balloon payment or some outrageous payment later. We can work with you annually every year to file that paperwork so you can eventually get that student loan forgiven and now be able to actually qualify for $101,000 more house, right? So, I mean, you could see just through this tool really quickly. I want to give one other example. Let's say you earn slightly less than that. You earn 45,000 and you have 40,000 of student loans. Like I can change the scenario here, right? Or let's say you make 40. I'm just trying to show like it's not like you have to have a huge amount of student loan debt to understand the increased affordability, but play with it based on your situation. And then what you do is you click, even here, $448, that still increases affordability by $76,000, right? So once you click next, we explain the process, but everyone gets started for free. You go from this estimated amount and then you go onto our software by clicking get started, you go next. And then this is where you actually sign up for an account and enter. I'm not going to go through all this, but you basically enter your more specific information, upload your student loans and get like that free personalized plan. And right there, you could book with a loan advisor, buyer service, and actually understand how to get help so we can help you achieve these goals. Does that make sense? So let's say you have student debt, other debt, it doesn't matter. You come to the loan advisor, you talk to them. This is my situation. I've been declined because of this, or I'm only accepted because for this amount. You talk to them and they will help you build a plan so you can afford more and get to your goals. Because like I said, we want a yes and yes when, not a no, right? With no answers. And that's our goal to build for every single person.
Definitely. And Catalina, I can't tell you how many people I get phone calls about when it comes to their student loans or how debilitating just the idea of student loans are. And I can see why that is. But I think it's more because there's not enough education out there. You know, just listening to you takes me back to the beginning of when I started in my credit journey on my personal side, right? And it was very frustrating and very stressful because there wasn't information outside. And I literally had to kind of like trick myself as to how I see my debts, how I see my credit cards, how I see, you know, when I don't have student loans, but I do have clients that have student loans. And sometimes you just have to kind of, trick yourself or incentivize yourself to want to go ahead and deal with these payments. And from the looks of it, you know, it's what I tell people all the time. Hey, student loans are never going away. And because of that, the government knows that. So they have a bunch of plans and affordable plans at that you can go ahead and continue to make student loan payments without breaking the banks. But now we're talking about putting student loans in the same conversation as mortgages, which makes great sense because now it's not just paying student loans until it's done. Now it's going ahead and resolving your student loans to be able to get a little bit more money or a little bit more home for the dream home that everybody's getting for. Am I on the
Right.
track?
Yeah, it's exactly right. So no, that's exactly it, right? I mean, I'd love to tell a tiny bit about my personal
please.
story and how I got into this is because I graduated college and I had student debt, and like most people, you rent an apartment, and I was renting in downtown Sarasota. And my mom was like, hey, why don't you come look at this house? It's like 5 minutes drive away. It's a 3-bedroom house. It's just 5 minutes from downtown. And literally the payment for this 3-bedroom house would be half the amount of your apartment for a 3-bedroom house. And I was living in a little apartment. And I was like, huh. So I actually never looked at homes. That home was on short sale. I was like, okay, how do I buy it? So I went to many lenders, and I had lenders who wouldn't even talk to me because of my income, because they saw I had student loan debt. They saw, oh, I wasn't in such a great zip code, whatever the reason was. I kept on getting treated like a number, and my number for some reason wasn't good enough until I met this one lender who sat down with me and walked me through everything I needed to do. She's like, you need to ask your employer to turn you from a 1099 to a W-2. Okay. You need to call your loan servicer. She like gave me a list of things I need to do. And then it took like 6 months for the short sale to close, right? And I called my loan servicer, my student loan servicer, and they gave me a lot of misinformation. I couldn't understand any of it. So I just started researching like crazy. And that is literally how my lender helped me understand what to do to become a W-2 employee. And then I just started researching like crazy on the student loan side. So I was able to reduce my payment, and both those combination of things was able to get me to close on my first house. I rented out 2 of the rooms on Airbnb, saved for down payment on another house. And I did that several times in my 20s, all because I understood all this free money. There's literally free money between your student loans, down payment assistance, all this stuff to increase your affordability. And now I'm in my mid 30s, and I'm like, I don't have to go take a job for a corporation. I could actually do what I really believe the world needs, which is to help people exactly like me, right? Understand what they need to be doing, because being told no over and over again or being rejected over and over again because your numbers don't look great is really not something that feels good. It makes me feel demoralized, less than, makes me feel less human than my next door neighbor or whatever. And I just don't think that that's fair. I don't think that's fair to people when there's so much out there that lenders may not even know because they don't understand the student loan side. So we built an entire advisory. There's software behind it, but behind every single recommendation, if a client buys a service, they also get assigned to a human, right? That can walk them through it, because it's a very, it's a big financial decision. Financial decisions affect us emotionally, right, too. And so we want to be there to support people before they close, after they close, on this journey through multiple filings. And yeah, that's a little bit of my story on how I ended up here.
That's great. And I love that, because I was just going to mention to the audience that I love dealing with like-minded people and like-minded companies. And it's crazy, right? That's similar to my story, where I had to learn about credit the hard way. And there wasn't somebody sitting down with me, and I had to research like crazy, which gave birth to this YouTube channel and now the business. And you have the same story, which is great, guys. And I'll tell you this much: dealing with people like that, or coming from a place like that, really makes you that much more passionate about, really providing the service that you provide, right? And I think and I think this is going to be great. I can't wait to interject this with the current clients that we have. And guys, I'm sharing this with you guys because this is something that definitely needs to be heard. It doesn't cost anything, and it takes you a few minutes by just clicking that link in the description below. Catalina already showed you how you navigate through that. And real quick, Catalina, once they hit submit and they put that information, what happens next? How fast do they get a call? What happens?
Right. So, okay. So what happens is, once you get your first preliminary analysis, you could decide, do you want to get a loan advisor assigned to you? So there's basically 2 plans. One is like a DIY, do it yourself, which is $47, or you can get assigned a loan advisor, which is $197 plus 3 payments of $97. You get assigned that loan advisor, and we do all the paperwork for you. Literally, after you get that analysis, you click enroll in this plan. And you will literally go to be able to book, and you do everything there. We don't call you, we don't text you, we don't bombard you. Like if you just want the free analysis, that's fine by us as well. But of course, there's also a chat icon on our website, so you can contact us if you have additional questions to understand if our service is right for you, right? But this is what I really want to say. I want to end with a few, like I want to just mention some pro tips that I think everybody watching YouTube always loves, right?
Sure.
And I almost feel like we should have started the video by saying we have pro tips, but number one, if you're married, right, it's really important if you're married and you have student loans, or you both have student loans, to understand the impacts of marriage on your student loan payments, because you don't want your spouse's income to count towards your student loan payment, increasing your payment amount, which also increases that debt to income, which makes it even harder to qualify for a house. So literally we can take couples who have like $3,000 loan payments combined all the way down to like a few hundred, right? We can also help give you pro tips to understand when to file to reduce your payment as much as possible to also be able to qualify for a house. So there's all kinds of pro tips like that. That I would say understanding is really, really important, because even if you were rejected recently, by activating this advice we can give you, you can literally qualify, in 6 months from now, in a year from now, or sooner, right? So it depends completely on your situation. So I wanted to say a few of those things. If you're married, it's really important to understand impacts of student debt. If you want to buy a house and you keep on getting turned down, understand fully how you could manage all your debts and credits so that you can qualify. So I'd recommend that as well. So
Awesome. Awesome, Catalina. So thank you so much for that information. And we look forward to working with you. And guys, again, just to get a better perspective as to where your student loans can potentially be and how much room does that leave available for your next purchase of your next home, please go ahead and click the link in the description below just to get an idea. The evaluation is free. And again, if you want to move forward, there is a small fee associated with it, but it gets the work done, and it gets the work done the right way. That way there's no second guessing or wondering. You have a team prepared for you. And then obviously, again, this is going to be great for everybody here. So Catalina, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to continue to work with you and continue to send people your way. And obviously, for the clients at ScoreShield Financial Group, this is definitely going to be available as far as the Loan Sense program goes. And we look to helping every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for your time. And Catalina, we'll speak soon. Thank you.